Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn in our Windtop Bluff colony. And as you can see, we made it through the drought. Our water's coming back. Well, I guess it was bad tide. Our water is coming back. We're getting things replanted. We're pulling in more water. We've got our zip lines in, and our reservoir is starting to fill back up that we can hopefully pick up some more water with. We've got a little bit of water over here. And our storage section went in here last time. So overall, not too bad. We actually managed to finish that bad water season with extra water. So hopefully with this season, we can actually pull in some more water there. But what I want to do today, we did get our explosives in last time. That's these right here. And each one's got a couple of explosives in it already. So I'm going to go ahead and plan out how to go ahead and basically move this water, well, not move this water source, but change this water source right here so that we can tip our bad water right off the edge of the map. A little unethical to dump it on your neighbors, but you know what? It's fine. I've never heard a neighboring colony complain when I've done it, so we're just going to do that. But to get there, I'm going to have to kind of remake this just a bit, I think. Let's see, we need that, and then I'm actually going to need... I need to take these out, maybe? Let's do that. And let's go ahead and grab the one deep dynamite, since I don't have the extract I need yet for the deeper ones, but we'll just do this for the moment. Do I need this extra one here? I might not. I don't want to make a complete mess of the area. How can I do this? You know what? Let's do this. We'll put one of you in there. We'll get some stairs up here. There we go. And then once that's in there, I can take that out. Then I kind of have the same problem, don't I? Yeah, let's dig that trench. Do that. We'll say that this dynamite needs to go there. These we're definitely not going to need anymore. At least I hope we won't end up needing those anymore. This I don't really need because it's a diagonal. Do I need this? Good question. Let's take you out of there, and you know what? We'll just take this out and see what happens. Maybe let's go delete you. Why do you not want to be deleted? Okay, well, there we go. All right, a little bit of a mess there, but that's okay. Not too worried about it. Let's get that as high priority. And then hopefully we won't need these anymore. There we go. We don't need those. We don't need those. And we don't need... You really don't need that either. We can just take that out of there. There we go. And what we are going to need, though, is the sluice. Let's see if we've got enough for the sluice. There's a bad tide. We'll get to test it right away. So let's do this. Yep. And this. Yep. And let's get that in there. We'll put the bad tide all going out this way. I think 2 blocks should be able to drain this way. We'll find out here, but let's say that's high priority. That way we can at least get this sort of filled up. How's our water doing? 1.7. You know what? That's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. We can try and get some cattail in there. I don't know if they'll be able to do it, but we're going to try. Can also, well, you know what? I don't need the beavers at the moment, it looks like. They can go ahead and try and get that in here. Eventually, we're going to have to cover this. So I might as well plan to do that now. Let's go ahead and do this. And we'll do the impermeable floor. Yep, there we go. That's all working pretty well. They've got all of that to take care of. I would work on this one, but I don't think 2 days isn't quite enough to get all of it done. And, oh, look, we're down to 0 beds. Do you know what that means? That means we need more houses. Let's do this and this. We'll take this and this out of there. This might be too many houses again, but you know what? We've been kind of staying on that cusp of too many beavers the whole time, so we might as well keep up with it, right? Go ahead, we'll do this, and then once they get rid of these, we'll put in a ladder and put in that last apartment complex there. That's all coming out. How are you guys doing? Looks like these beavers are doing okay, so we can probably pause that now that those are in. Are you guys good to go? You guys are good to go. This is looking good. We've got just a few left. What we can also try and do is straighten out this river here. How are you guys? You know what? You could probably use some log storage over here. So let's toss a couple of piles in here just to see if we can get that. That's a supply. How are these guys doing? They're still working on that. Are you guys pretty much done? Yeah, you're just waiting on this last tree to grow, which I don't really care about. So you guys are done. So let's pause you. Then they have this to go out here. How's our... It's all looking pretty good. We need some potatoes, it looks like. Our potato crop needs to come in for these. They've got this done, which is wonderful. Let's go ahead, get you up there. We'll get you up there. And looks like the water is doing okay at the moment. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's go ahead and work on maybe straightening out this river. Now, I don't have dirt yet, so I'm going to have to use levees to maybe straighten out this river just a bit. But I think that'll be okay. It'll work for now. Let's put these in here. And then dynamite-wise, let's come down to, about here. Yeah, that looks good to me. Down to about here. We'll just have the river come across here. And I don't want to block up the river. So let's do this. And that for now. That is going to need to be... Yep, we can do this. Let's go ahead. Come straight across there. Also, let's plan, I would like forester down here because we're going to need more trees. A lot of our forest up here is chopped down. We do have quite a bit of extra lumber that we can go out and get if we absolutely need it. But I'm hoping to go ahead and take care of that first. Oop, we still need to change our gates here though, don't we? Let's do that, and let's do that. And did they get... they didn't quite get it done over here, but you know what? This bad water is not that big a deal. We'll just pause those. Again, we'll come by, pause all these. There we go. These guys should be okay, and you know what? We've got plenty of extra beavers. Let's hook back up our outpost, and they can pull in what they can before all this water goes bad over there. There we go. I think that'll work just fine. We've got a lot of that stuff done. We've got oh, look at that. It is all going out this way. Oh, but the sluice is, it's not actually built. What are we missing? Metal blocks? That is okay on metal blocks? Yeah. Are you out of scrap metal? Ah, we're out of scrap metal. Basic production 101. You have to have the base materials. Let's go ahead, put 2 more of those in there so that we can start pulling from there as well. And if we need it, we can grab more from down here. This looks like it's going to take a minute. Is our... You know what? We have extra there. We have extra... We'll just toss in a couple here and there. Just so that we can pull everything in when we need to. We'll keep the total amount... pretty good. These guys can be paused. We're back up to 12 extra beavers. Don't think we got any chestnuts this time, so we don't need to restart that. We're actually out of spatter dock, so that's going to be a sort of a problem, but what are they waiting on here? Just metal blocks? Yep, metal blocks. So we got to get to that metal made. You know what? I can go ahead and plant some more of these. There's those. Down here, they're still losing stuff because of the corrupted ground. Over here, we've got that going in. I want another one. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and plan for our water system down here. We'll just put in a whole bunch of pumps down here along this. There we go. That'll have to be moved. But to do that, we're going to need a road right along here. There we go. And we'll even put in maybe a transport down here somewhere. Let's grab this. Do you connect to there? Yep, you sure do. So we'll just add you to there. And when they can finally get all the metal blocks they need, they can finally get these transports done, get the sluices taken care of. Look at that. They've got one sluice taken care of. This one, I don't have set correctly. This one, close below contamination 1%. I believe that's right. And this is close above contamination 1%. Turn that off, so it should be closed. This one's closed. This one is closed. There we go. They're all going out that way now. So I can go ahead and let this out of there. Nope, you go back okay. Fly across the gap. That works too. But they can still get to this via the line, so I'm not too worried about that. When that drains out, we'll put this back. There we go. You guys can put that back. This should be taken care of except for these, because we'll need to get those eventually, because I would like to build a reservoir here to hopefully capture a lot of extra water to keep this and this over here with water. The reservoir over here will probably be the one that we pump out of most of the time, though. So hopefully that's the way that goes. A couple of things I think our colony is going to need is probably the next level up on some of these items, which means we're going to have to get things like pine tar or pine sap, I guess they call it, and get some treated planks so that eventually we can get the better water pumps and, you know, a couple of other things. We're also going to need to get paper to get the better windmills. So what I'm going to do is we're actually going to start with, I think, the paper. Let's go ahead, grab the paper. We'll put in 2 paper factories right there. There we go. That looks good to me. And they can start on that, and then eventually we'll get the better windmills, or at least I hope we get the better windmills. How are we doing? Plank-wise, we're fine. We do finally look like we're starting to catch up on metal blocks, which is kind of what I wanted to see. While we're waiting for that, though, this, we can go ahead and dig the trench out here for that. There we go. And this one I'm going to add in here just this way. But we're going to have to wait until the bad tide goes away to actually do that. So, or to finish most of this. Same thing over here. We've got a lot of those. You know what? We can go ahead and probably put in a release for the bad tide over here. Hopefully our beavers stay out of this bad tide that's in here. You never know. Sometimes they do weird things. And I think we're going to be, again, unethically dumping. But in this case, we'll be dumping it on our own map, but nobody lives down here, so nobody's going to say too much about it, I don't think, I hope. And we'll divert the bad water off this way, and hopefully keep the good water this way. This is all dried out, so we can go ahead, we can take that out of there. These guys can leave. I can put the path on the right side there. There we go. Let's go ahead. We'll get in blocks here for the terrain. And then I don't need the second level block here. Let's go ahead. 1, 2 more there. And then over here, I think that should be enough. We'll put 1 in there. And you know what? Let's make this corner about that size. Yeah, I think that should work just fine. And as for roads, we'll come out here and we'll make a shortcut right across there. so that we can put more trees in instead of having this one long road. This guy is confused as what to do. Buddy, plant oaks. When in doubt, plant oak. This is going to be oak and more oak and oak. And you know what? We're going to say this whole area is oak because I hope it stays underwater or with water the whole time. I guess watered? Watered is the word that I'm looking for. There we go. We're going to do that. Let's make sure there are lumberjacks here. Pick it up. 1, 2. There we go. Over here, let's do a couple of lumberjacks maybe here. And then this guy. There we go. So water comes down here over to here. Once these are done, such as these 4 guys don't have anything to do. Once those are done, I'll let out some water down here. 1, we can get guys to pump down here. And 2, hopefully we can redo our area here so that we can hold a lot of water that these guys can probably use. These guys don't need to be here, though. There's no trees here yet, guys. Let's do that. We'll do the same thing over here. We'll do oaks all over here. All for this area. And you know what? Before I go planting an oak there, let's get one of these just so that these pumping stations here that should be pumping pretty much constantly don't have to worry about being able to take it all the way back over to a pump, not a pump, but a storage place over here. So we'll work on that. We're slowly expanding the colony out. It's going to take a bit, but slowly but surely we definitely are. In fact, while we're here and we've got extra dynamite, speaking of extra dynamite, why don't I just get a place we can store some dynamite? We can store paper here. Let's store some cattails while we can. We'll get the cattail flour. We'll get the regular flour because we don't have storage space for any of them, really. How are we doing on stored power? We're a little low, so let's keep an eye on what we do need and what we don't need. Are we needing planks? We do need planks, so we actually have to turn those on. Paper-wise, don't think we need those at the moment. They're working on this. Explosives I will need once I set this to explosives. There we go. Here we'll do paper. I think that's what we're going to do here. Yep. Paper. That looks good. We'll do some cattail. How about wheat? And wheat flour. And we'll even do, how about cattails? And then behind, we'll do the cattail flour. Cattail flour. There we go. Now they can store a little bit of stuff here and there. Let's turn on one of these, and we'll turn on just one of those. Hopefully that stays caught up. Are we caught up on these? Yep, we'll leave one of them on and one of them off for now. All of those are turned off. Well, would you looky here, we've got a slight problem. I did not see that that one was not built, but that's okay. We can always fix that as it goes. We'll do that. No, even 3 don't fully put out a whole block's worth of. We'll do that. And here, I'm going to cover these. And get out of there, you dopes. Nobody goes down in that water. I will gladly take that out if you will not use common sense and build it outside of the water. There we go. Let's do that. We'll go... This can go out to there so they can build that. This all looks good. I can probably finally take out this path. There's not really a need for it. And we'll fill that back in. This, I think, is going to have to go... These go this way? No, because then it can't empty the bad waters. So we'll just do that. Then we can do... Nope, not 2s, but 1s across the top of this. And let's do our impermeable floors so it can't leak. And we'll set this one for close below contamination 1%. There we go. Let's put in a levee here, and we'll hope we don't fill the whole island with just basically bad water. Close above contamination 1%. So they'll be closed for now. Is that... Oh, there we go. We made a sewer off the side, sadly. And I'm not going to put in anything there because we don't really want to hold the bad water. We're just going to dump it off the side for now. And you know what? We'll pretend nobody saw that. That doesn't need to go there. Are these closed? They are closed. Ooh, that's gonna be an issue. Gonna be a little bit of an issue. Okay, well, you know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna pause you guys. Let's open you. There we go. What I'm gonna need to do, well, I'm gonna have to end up moving this, which I probably should have moved that in the first place, but you know what? We can move that. Let's delete this. Nope. Delete the path on there. There we go. We'll move the farms over just a bit. That still reach the whole island? Yeah, it can. What about you? Most of it? What about if I put it here? Yeah, we'll do that. All right, so we've got to that. Let's put a road around this way. You guys get off the dynamite. Go on, get off the dynamite. Okay, everybody walk on the dynamite. Well, that's what it took. I just had to tell them to walk on the dynamite, and then they just decided they were going to stop. That's the way it works, isn't it? So, let's build... We need probably a set of these. And then we're going to need... Ooh, how am I going to do? Because it'll spill water out this way for sure. Maybe I need to go here, then here, and put a block here. It's kind of what it feels like. Let's take a quick look. We're going to block this in. And then we're going to actually, instead of these, if we do levees, there we go, levees on all sides, and we do this and this and this, and we don't need these, that can be paused. We do those, and we do impermeable tiles up top. There we go. I think that'll get it. Let's build a wider path maybe out here. And here we're going to replace these with blocks. There we go. They should be able to build these from the bottom. Let's go ahead, block that off, that, and that. And we'll wait until they get the rest of that in there, and hopefully that should flow out the right way, but we'll come back and check that in a minute. I keep forgetting to put down the tapper shack here, so I'm gonna try and remember to do that here real quick. There we go. We'll get the tapper shack in so we can get that pine resin, and let's put in maybe a little bit of storage for it here. I go, maybe right here would be a good place. Let's do medium warehouse. That can be for pine resin. Pine resin. Where is pine resin? There it is. I can never find it when I'm looking for it, but as soon as I stop looking for it, then I find it. There we go. Okay, so they've got some of these in, which is good. How is our economy recovering? Really not too bad. We've got a decent amount of just about everything. I'm a little worried on the water side, but I think we should have enough when it comes back on to actually be okay with water. We just have to make sure that we actually pull it in. In fact, let's go ahead, just to make sure that we will have enough for water, let's do that. And then each one gets its own small barrel. each of water itself. Water going out. Water. Water going out. And water going out. There we go. That should make those fairly easy to recognize. We'll turn them all off because they're not needed at the moment. I have almost 30 beavers that just aren't doing anything at the moment. So what I could do is let's invest a little bit more in science. Let's do another science here, and we'll do a couple more. No, I don't want to do a couple more there. I do want to get these dynamite though. There we go. Let's see if we can find another place for science. This looks like a good place for at least one science. We could do some science over here. Can't put science there. Can I put science here? Science can go there, so we'll just have a weird path full of science. There we go. Oh, here's another thing that we could do. Let's go ahead, remove all these. And we need... I guess I didn't need to remove all of them, because I can only go... You know what? Let's do this way. Before I... Let's go ahead, get in sluices here. Build sluice. There we go. Because we'll need them there eventually anyway. And then let's do another set right here. And we'll go ahead, go back up that high and get dams for the overflow. There we go. Then we just need to close if it's above 50. This will close not 350, but just 50. There we go. So that should take care of those. We have some water here. Let's get beavers in here pulling in this water if they can. There we go. That's all looking good. This guy could probably plant some more trees while he's here. These we don't need anymore. Looking good. We've got quite a bit of population surplus. We just need to make sure that we can take care of them all. These are, well, those are off because that is definitely bad water at the moment. But now that hopefully all this bad water, well, it's not quite out of here. Let's see if we can finish this area first. Let's do that. And if I were to say, put in 1 block here. 1 block here. There we go. And we get the tiles here. And I do one of these here. I guess I don't need that tile underneath there, but that's okay. Does that still... Yeah, we'll just do this. There we go. Once they get that in there, I can turn hopefully this off, and we'll have just an exit for the bad water over here, which means this should stay mostly green. This along here should be all good water after that. But we'll let them finish that real quick, and then we'll check and see if it overflows or not. There we go. Perfect. All right, guys, we're going to close. A little bit of overflow. And this is probably all going to be bad land. Oh, there's a lot of overflow. Holy cow, there's a lot of overflow. Whoa. You know what? We're going to deal with it. We're going to figure this out one way or another. We might have to send an unfortunate beaver down there, but we'll toss in a dynamite. And maybe having it just a little bit deeper there on the end will prevent it from getting too bad. Sorry, Mr. Beaver. They're gonna have to live with it. Oh, we're gonna have to get 2 beavers. One to drop it off, one to halfway get it done, and one to actually finish the project. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Let's go back to 16 so that we're not using maybe so much water. But let's detonate that, and is that going to take it off the edge for us? Yeah, I think that's going to do it. There we go. Couple of beavers might have gotten a little bit dirty there, but I think they will live. Let's take out this block right here and this one right here so so that we can empty this mess of bad water and it'll be done. We'll put that back. We'll put this back. Wonderful. We'll get to those in there. And then once this all comes back, we've got 2 of them done, but we need to get this 3rd one done. In fact, I can go ahead and build at least this part. There we go. And we'll build the impermeable floors on top of it and get that going. There we go. Oh, looks like they've got all of that in there. This will be good. We'll see if this keeps us in water. Next time we're going to turn all the pumps on again, just so we can have as much water as we possibly can to get this filled up for all these extra beavers that we have. You know what we could use? Probably another hauling post. Let's get another one in there so we can get stuff brought around the colony, since this is going to be on priority. So, but I think that's going to do it for next time. We're kind of in a rough spot at the moment, but we've got what we need. We just need to have the time to actually get it finished and get it taken care of. So just want to say, as always, thank you very much for stopping by, and hope to see you next time.